So welcome everybody to day 5 of this 21-day challenge. Well done for being here. Today we start looking at affirmations. So we start looking at the reprogramming aspect of these limiting beliefs. And it's important to realize that we have many, many layers that we're working through. And these are just some techniques that I'm sharing with you that you're able to work with. When it comes to reprogramming these beliefs, it's about replacing and changing behavior or actioning. And the action part is important. So it's not only about just thinking positive, we need to action positive into the world in order to start making those changes. And about overcoming beliefs and replacing behaviors, these we'll be surprised. We get caught on them, which is why I asked, let's step into observation in what are the limitations that we're placing in our language. And taking action kind of like counterbalances that as well. So moving through and replacing certainly does help with our confidence. It helps with our resilience. And it also increases the opportunities around us, because when we start to focus on what we prefer, it's like where thought goes, energy flows. So when we start focusing on what we prefer rather than what we don't want, we're giving energy to what we do. And we start to see the opportunities come towards us as well. And we start to break free from these self-imposed limitations. Now, I heard a quote recently from Bashar, and he said, life is meaningless. And I was like, what? And he's like, no, life is meaningless. We give meaning to life. We give meaning to situations. We give meaning to what happens. And a lot of the times when we are triggered, that's where we have that's where we know where the limitation is. So it's about really looking at stepping into observation without judgment as to where did this come from? Where is this limitation being pushed up for me as well? So working through this also helps to improve our mental health, and it enhances our relationships as we develop a more powerful and positive mindset, leading to effective engagement with our personal and professional relationships. So reprogramming our beliefs through changing our behavior offers a wide range of benefits for us, and helps to improve our overall life as such. One of the ways that I found to do this, especially when I went from very much moving from a corporate world into my healing and then into this, is I used a lot of positive affirmations to reprogram my brain. Now, when it comes to positive affirmations, we'll look at the chakra system as well, just to help understand a deeper sense of programming. But when it comes to affirmations, the affirmations need to be in the now. It's like I have, I am, I know, I see. But it has to be in the now, because the universe or God or creator is always saying yes. I always say we're spoiled brats. The universe is always saying yes to what we want. And if we're saying I want, we'll continue to want. If we say I need, we'll continue to need. If we say I have, we have. So it's I know. So it's always in the positive, always in the now. The subconscious also doesn't pick up negative. Doesn't pick up the not, the no's, the don'ts. So when we're saying these things, that's how it ends up coming into being, because subconsciously, if you say, I don't want this, it's not picking up the don't, it's picking up the rest of the affirmation. So we end up propelling or creating that environment which we don't want. So that's why it becomes quite important to talk about rather what we do want than what we don't want. And a lot of the times in my client meetings, I find a lot of people that worry when we worry about something, we are constantly sending that energy to that one thing that we don't want. And what comes up in the Akashic Records is absolutely see it as a potential timeline, but look at what you prefer rather than what you don't prefer, because a lot of the times we end up focusing on what we don't prefer rather than what we do. And that's what we're sending energy to. So especially when it comes to manifesting, is shoot your arrow at what you do want and don't allow anything that butts up against that to move that trajectory. So think about what we do want. But the positive affirmations that I created, I used to listen to them at night before going to sleep. A lot of people, you can also listen to it first thing in the morning, because your brain is in a different state where your subconscious is really being programmed. So a lot of the times when we go to sleep at night and we're worrying about the day, we end up continuing to worry about it through the evening, or we wake up in the middle of the night. I mean, I remember when I used to work for an internet service provider here in Edinburgh, work was always on my brain. And the one day I called support because we were 24 hours, and I'd be like, can you just check that I did this for this customer at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning? And then be like, Nat, because that's what my nickname was, Nat. They'd be like, it's done. Just go to bed, like go to sleep, stop doing this. And it's because it continues to regurgitate throughout the night. So creating something positive to look at, or positive to reprogram our system before we go to sleep, is quite helpful in reprogramming our minds. I was saying, when I moved from very corporate to going to doing my healing, I'd actually reached a state of burnout. And I think that the move to Canada was I found it hard to adjust when I moved to Canada. And stating the affirmations really, really helped me. Even a simple thing of saying, I am grateful for being here, even though I didn't feel like it at the beginning. Afterwards, I really started to fall in love with the beauty of Canada and all that it offered me on my journey. But even just stating it, and then you start to believe it. It took a bit of a process, but it was important. Positive in the now is important. The other way that you can do it is record your own voice in saying the affirmations. This is important. There are a lot of YouTube programs out there that have a lot of affirmations, and they are great. But sometimes we don't know the frequency that the person is in when they're saying it. So it becomes important for us, and also listening to our own voices also tends to help us reprogram that a little bit faster. So what I recommend, there's actually an app called Think Up. I think it's $20. And I recorded my affirmations into this app. So what I did was I meditated, I raised my vibrational frequency. And for every affirmation that I said, I felt into it as if it was already here with all of my senses. So I did it from a place of excitement, as much as you can muster where you're at. Once you reach that frequency, you can re-record them and push that energy up again a little bit more, in that belief system a little bit up again, and your affirmations will be different then. So what I used to do is I used to record all the affirmations into this app, and I used to play that before I'd fall asleep listening to them the whole night as well. So that helped me quite a bit, I think, in that transformation of shifting my mindset to really not being somewhere where I wanted to be with all the stresses, to moving into it like, no, I accept this. I've got this. I'm moving through this. This is great, to really changing my mindset and actioning differently as well, seeing the world from a different perspective. So that became quite important for me, and a really good tool that I used to help, along with journaling. Journaling helps to understand really what's going on subconsciously as well, too. So I used to journal. I used to open my Akashic Records every day. And I still do. And I sit within it and I'd ask questions and I'd receive the answers. And that helped me to move through that period when I shifted. And it still does today. Whenever I go through big life changes, I journal from the Akashic Records. I ask a question and I journal that. So moving on to the affirmations and understanding each chakra is quite important. So starting in with the crown chakra, we're looking at the affirmation that starts with I understand. So when we're reprogramming the limitation, we look at the limitation and we look at, okay, what is it that we're wanting to create? It's not necessarily the opposite of whatever the limitation is, but what are we wanting to replace it with? So it's understanding that I am a sovereign being. I am something else, but it's an understanding that comes in. So a lot of the affirmations will start with I understand. So and this chakra is also associated with connection and enlightenment and understanding the universal consciousness. So this is the and usually when I say bring in the energy into the crown, it's about receiving those new codes. And when we say I understand, and whatever comes out after that, whatever you affirm after that, it starts to bring in those codes into your system. The next affirmation with regards to the third eye is I see. So I see myself being this, or I see the potential of this, or I see myself, sitting in the ideal home that I want, or in the ideal job. I see my success. And it's linked to intuition and perception and inner wisdom. And this helps us to really look at what direction we want to go in, because if you can visualize something, you can create it. It's already there. So you see yourself living in that house, you see yourself in that job, you see yourself living that life. The next one, we move on to the throat, which is our avenues of self-expression. And this chakra is about speaking our truth and expressing who we are. And this chakra is how we speak into existence what we're wanting to create. So when God created the world, he spoke it into existence. We constantly speak into existence with our words. What we're saying, they call it spelling. We use our voices to create what we're wanting to create. So when you're creating affirmations that you're wanting to shift within your communication, is I speak. Moving on to the heart chakra, in the center of the chest, it governs love, it governs compassion, and it governs emotional balance. So I love myself. I love is the beginning of that affirmation with this chakra. Then we move on to the solar plexus. The solar plexus is the chakra that is associated with our personal power, with our self-esteem, with our confidence. This is the chakra that helps us to move forward into changing the action. So if we don't have will, or we're procrastinating, or we're self-sabotaging, it's in this chakra that we start to move things through as well. And it's the actioning, moving forward. So if you're finding that there's a resistance to moving forward, work with the solar plexus chakra to help you action, going in, action your day. So for example, when I was going through the divorce and moving through from Canada back to the UK, there was one, I used to ask myself every day, what is one thing that I need to do today to move myself forward into it? Because there was a lot that was going on. It was kids, it was dogs, it was countries, it was packing up houses, it's all sorts of things. There was too much going on. And sometimes when we have too much of a to-do list, we don't want to do anything at all. So start with one action that you can do. So moving forward, that tends to help just to get things going. And once you've done that one, ask, what is the next thing that I can do, to move ourselves forward? So you keep taking yourself forward. This is also the basis of the octopus method that Kelly and I run, which is quite an amazing program. The next is the chakra of the sacral chakra, which is the chakra of creation. This is what we use to manifest. So we see it, we speak it into existence, we feel it, we action, but it is the sacral that creates that energy of it's attached to our emotions, and our emotions give that extra oomph, that extra energy into our actions as well. The sacral chakra is very much about creativity and sensuality and sexuality, and that is the organs of creation, and that's where all that energy is stored. So it's I feel is the affirmation that is connected to that. So moving into the root is the affirmation of I am. And I am is the all encompassing of who we are. And this, it's positioned at the base of the spine, and it's connected to grounding. It's connected to our survival instincts, and it's connected to a sense of security and stability. Now, the root is where we hold a lot of our fears and our distrust. So it's important to work with the root. Grounding us tends to help us with that as well. And stating in the I am affirmations is a great way to start, because that is where we hold our fears. So it's overcoming our fears. But it's important to work with all the chakras that we are moving through, as you know, working through. So in today's exercise, I'm going to give you a little bit of time. Throughout the last few days, there were a couple of limiting beliefs that came up. I want you to choose one of them. And if nothing came up for you in the last few days, or if you're doing this exercise just today, what is it that you're wanting to create? And we're going to move through the chakra system in creating that affirmation to balance off that belief system. So pick one of the limitations that came up, and I'll walk you through that. So have you got that limitation? And let's start actually from the root. So instead of that limiting belief system, what would you prefer to be? And these affirmations, and it can be more than one, it all starts with I am. Remember to keep it positive. Okay. Moving up into the next one, into the sacral, is I feel. I feel worthy and deserving of receiving all that is good in life. The next one is I action. So play some action. I move forward with grace and with ease. The next one is I love. Affirmation starting with I love. And then I speak or express. And then I understand or I know. And I see. Okay. So I'm going to take us through a meditation to do some of these affirmations. I'm going to do ones with general affirmations like I did yesterday with the releasing of the limitations. And then I'm going to give some space at the end for you to place in your own ones that came up today. Okay. Just in case. And if I don't get any of them, then at least you make sure that you get yours for sure. So let's jump in and let's meditate. So let's close our eyes. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. Again, every breath is a new beginning. Breathing in light and releasing the tension, the stress of the days. Breathing in light into our bones, our joints, our organs. And allowing the light to flood in through all aspects of ourselves. Releasing all that no longer serves. And let's continue to breathe in light, igniting our own light, amplifying this light, allowing it to flood into our auric field, clearing the mental, the emotional, etheric energies that we carry to be released, removed, and dissolved. Aligning all of our bodies with our higher self and our I am presence. Let's clear our chakras on all layers, all levels, and all dimensions. And let's breathe in light with the intention of clearing our meridians. Clearing all systems on all layers, all levels, and all dimensions. Let's sink in slightly into the ground, opening up the chakras on the soles of our feet, connecting to the energy of Mother Earth. Allowing the exchange of energy and the balance of electrons between our body and her. Absorb in that energy from Mother Earth into all aspects of ourselves. Allowing for nurturing, for healing. Allowing for the connection and the belonging. Connecting into the central sun. Bringing that light into our crown, down our spines. Strengthening and opening our connection to all things beyond time and space. Allow that energy to move down our spines, through our nervous system, allowing it to wash over all aspects of who we are on all layers, all levels, and all dimensions. Feeling completely grounded, centered, and connected. Let's drop into our heart space, and without criticism, without expectation, open to receiving and reprogramming our systems. We connect to the Akashic Records. Keepers of the Akashic Records, please open and allow me access to my records. My name is, state your name. And I ask that you create a safe and sacred space for my highest good and healing. The records are now open. The records are now open. The records are now open. Stepping over the threshold into your records. Call forward all the limiting beliefs that we've been working on. Those that still remain. And we ask that the violet flame of Saint Germain clear, cleanse, release, dissolve, and transmute all that is no longer in alignment. And we call forward the blueprint of our physical, our etheric, our mental, emotional bodies. And we visualize the reprogramming of all these bodies, allowing the affirmations that I state, if they resonate, to move through, if they are in alignment, that you accept them and receive them. Preparing all systems. Integrating. I love and respect myself. I am presence. I am awareness. I am connection. And I am compassion. I am love. And I am fully present in all that I do. I am presence. Every breath I take is a new beginning. I am the universe, and the universe is me. I always think the best, do my best, and expect the best. I respect and accept myself. I have forgiven myself, and I have let go of all past mistakes. I only think thoughts that support the highest potential version of me. I am so strong that nothing can disturb my peace of mind. I am so blessed to be naturally a joyful person. My optimism for life shines through everything I think, say, and do. I enjoy caring for my well-being in every way. I am committed to improving myself every day and enjoying doing so. I have strong positive beliefs in every area of my life that serve me in every way. I am committed to a life of excellence for me and for all those that I encounter. I can learn something from everyone. I neutrally observe how I think, speak, and act, and then change whatever I want. There is nothing to fear. I am fearless. I change my thoughts and my attitudes as I improve. I am so grateful for the perfect health and the health of my loved ones. I enjoy being active and exercising for my health. I live my word. I am holy ground. I am dynamic. I love my body, my mind, and my soul. I am confident. I feel confident. I action confidence. I love my confidence. I speak confidently and express myself well. I see my confidence in everything that I think, say, and do. I know that I am confident. I am the divine that I am. I am a transformer and a liberator of my thoughts. I can transform all my conditioning. I am the light that I seek. I am the love that I seek. I am the friendship that I seek. I am a catalyst for transformation. I am at the heart of my divinity. I am the space of my own safety. I am healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and sexually. I am the light of my divinity. I am in complete harmony with thought, feeling, desire. I am wise, intuitive, and connected to my inner guidance. I trust my intuition always. I seek to understand and learn from my life experiences. I am connected to my higher power. I am connected to the wisdom of the universe. Every situation is an opportunity for growth. I see that. I hear that. I feel that. I'm able to see and act in alignment with my divine purpose. I open myself up to new energies and experiences. I am a present observer in my life. Seeing and understanding the big picture comes naturally to me. My life moves effortlessly towards my purpose. My imagination is vivid and powerful. I nurture my spirit, and I am in tune with what it needs. I am the source of my truth. I live in alignment with my authentic self. I trust the highest. I trust in my highest good is unfolding. I choose to tap into my inner wisdom. My inner wisdom guides me to my highest potential. My third eye sees all. I honor my intuition and use it as a guide. My intuition leads me to my passion and my purpose in life. I see all things clearly. I have clarity, and I am open to the wisdom within. I can manifest my vision. I trust and follow my intuition. I am the source of my truth and my love. I release and forgive my past. I deepen my connection with spirit and discover the unique ways in which it speaks to me. I am an open and clear channel to receive guidance and clarity from my guides and the universe. My body is a powerful messenger, and I listen carefully to the signs and the guidance I receive. I open myself up to seeing new possibilities and opportunities that align with my soul. I am the extension of the universe. I am a loving soul in a human body. I am an expression of the divine. I am stepping into new and fresh awareness. I am now allowing myself to be guided by the universe. I am connected to the abundance of the universe, and I am a divine being. I feel it, I see it, I know it, I love it. I am connected to my higher self. I give thanks and gratitude for all my success in life, and I am sailing the seas of abundance. I take charge and take responsibility for all my own actions. I am guided by my good feelings, and I am connected to the universe. I am a spirit having a human experience, and I am one with the universe. My true power lies in the present moment. I release the past and let go of the future. I am aligned with the universe. I choose to be the light, the love, and the compassion in all situations. I am a magnet for miracles. I choose to view my obstacles as opportunities. I'm ready to lift the veil of the spiritual realm. I'm wanting to learn through love. Every day, in every way, I'm connected to the universe. I am responsible for my spiritual development. I love and accept myself. I give myself permission to be happy and fulfilled in my life. I am part of the divine, and I deserve to be happy. I feel love and in peace. Creative energy flows through me freely. I nurture myself emotionally and take full responsibility for my own happiness. My relationships are based on mutual respect and appreciation. I trust my loved ones, and they trust me. Inspiration is always flowing to me, and I act on the great ideas I receive. I invite joy into my life. I allow others to be who they are. When I wake up, I feel energized and eager to begin my day. Change is perfectly safe. I share the love with others and embrace intimacy. I give myself permission to release the drama. I attract people who treat me with respect. I enjoy the pleasures in all areas of my life. My emotions are free-flowing and balanced. I am a creative being. It is my birthright to receive all that is good in life. I honor the sacred body in which my soul resides. I welcome sensuality into my life. My intuitive senses are awakened. I embrace my vibrant sexuality. I choose to feel joy and excitement often. I breathe in powerful golden light and all that is available to me, that is in alignment with my highest potential. I am spontaneous and allow my intuition to guide me. Life gets better every day as I learn to claim my inner peace. I take pride in being a good friend, a good parent, a good child, in ways that are in alignment with my highest potential. The people in my life bring out the best in me, and I bring out the best in them. I accept help when I need it. I'm fully engaged in my own life and create experiences that reflect my best self. I celebrate who I am. I am feeling complete peace within. I am open to the flow of creativity. I am home in my body. My emotions are my guides. I am safe to express myself. I deserve to be joyful. I am vibrating pure joy. I make space for in my life for play and for rest. I am connected to an endless source of innovation, inspiration, and creativity. I radiate passion and prosperity. My body is a masterpiece, a work of art. I honor my desires. I am independent. I love and accept myself for who I am. I am worthy and deserving of all that is good in life. I am the anchor of light. I am truly blessed and truly grateful. I step into the world of unity consciousness. I am compassionate and self-aware. I discern where I place my awareness. I am a transformer of all limitations. I am love. Take one moment to place your own affirmations. Okay, let's start making our way back by giving thanks to the keepers of the records for the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding we have received today. Allowing to integrate all these energies that are in alignment with our highest potential into our physical, our etheric, our mental, and emotional bodies. Making sure that they're aligned with our higher self and our highest potential timelines. The records are now closed. The records are now closed. The records are now closed. Take a deep breath and exhale. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.